Over the last month, I must have either picked up more shows or just watched more, because I have a ton to talk about, with such popular shows as Your Lie in April and Fruits Basket Final Season, as well as the trash like Domestic Girlfriend. Yeah, I watched it. Anyway, I thought I should make my reviews a bit more expansive and add scores to make the videos a better show. I'd like to hear thoughts, though without wasting time, let's continue. Today, Fruits Basket has become the longest series I've completed, and the best way to describe the final season is dramatic. As this season reaches its climax, there are still many questions around Toru and the Soma's curse. In the finale, they put to bed most unanswered questions. From my mindset, I always like to think how I would like a show to end. 99 times out of 100, I don't come near the ending that the writers chose for the show, which in many ways is an enjoyable experience as I can never accurately predict the plot. However, it can put some sour opinions on an otherwise great show. Fruits Basket did give me this with the show's romantic elements, but the show also had many good twists I enjoyed a lot. And to be honest, there is no other score I could give it than a 10 out of 10. To be fair, besides the misdirective title, yeah that's a word, I found myself loving the show and it's for more than just the bunny suit, okay? The show tackles adolescent syndrome, which is where unexplainable circumstances happen to characters with normally a cause behind it. What I like about the show so much is how it tackles the issues and how the characters work through them. The whole world the show is in feels like a cozy place where you're generally living your life. However, when the characters dive into issues and the tone shifts, it makes for an interesting watch. To be honest, I've personally been rating all the shows on my spreadsheet, which I use to keep track of the shows I watch, and I've only given 3 shows a straight 10 out of 10. I hate giving 2 shows in a row a perfect score, but they both deserve it. The third show, if you are wondering, is the 3rd season of Kaguya-sama Love is War. Moving on. I'm gonna be honest, it was okay. The thing is, when I pick a series like this, when I have a watch list longer than the longest receipts, I don't know why I pick a series like this compared to what I want to watch. Some of the directs landed are really good, but others don't. The best way I can think to explain it is the faster the episodes feel, the more engaged you are with the show, even if the show is bad. I still have that with many of the series I've watched. Lucky Star feels slow, which means while I enjoyed some parts, the show didn't engage me enough to make 20 minutes feel like 5 seconds, so I'll score it a 6 out of 10. This show covers 2 couples who are otakus. Whilst completely different, it felt very similar to Lucky Star. I think it's because they both lean into otaku culture at various points. Lucky Star had better charm with its art style, however I think that Watakoi is a better show with a story that always makes the plot feel like it's flowing forward. However, both shows did wear on me, and if Watakoi was as long as Lucky Star, my opinion could have easily been flipped. I have to give the show props for including an Eromanga Sensei poster in the background though. If you're looking for a short series to fill time, this is it. However, if you want a quality show, look somewhere else. It does have a palatable art style, and if picking animes based off of openings is your thing, this show's got a really good one. With all that said, I'd rate it at a 7 out of 10. As it's better than Lucky Star but fails to make itself memorable. I really liked Your Lie in April, however I didn't find it as sad as many made it out to be. Maybe I got the idea that it'd be way sadder than it was, however it is a really emotional and touching story, with the saddest part being that they don't keep the same opening for the whole way through, as in my opinion it is way better than the second. Though, is it just me, or do the characters have this weird looking lip bite thing at various parts? I enjoy the music compositions for the show, despite classical not really being my thing, and some of the performances may be taking a bit long. The whole main cast is a highlight of the show, with my favourite being protagonist Kosei, as his character arc in the show is one of the best I've seen in anime yet. I don't think the show has any flaws, just ended on the wrong note for me to give it a perfect score. So I gave it a 9 out of 10 and a definite recommendation for those looking for a sad but also sweet story. To explain how I determine seasons of a show, I do so by the MAL or Crunchyroll websites. If a show doesn't have seasons on MAL, Crunchyroll will generally give them seasons anyway. which for the first season of Bleach is 20 episodes. With that out of the way, let's talk about Bleach. Bleach is a generic name for any chemical product that is used— damn it! Wrong Wikipedia article. Sorry, Bleach is a show following protagonist Ichigo and mentor Rukia, when fighting the Undead Hollows as the Soul Reaper to protect humans. The concept on its own is a bit confusing, but if the idea sounds interesting, give the first few episodes a try. I enjoy all the characters and all have motivations for their actions, personal favourite being Chad. Love you, Chad. The end of the first season teases toward what would be happening in the next 350. I'm not sure when I will continue, as I like to take breaks between watching seasons of the show. However, when I do, I can't wait to see Ichigo's adventures. 7 out of 10. Blend S is a cute show. It follows a style cafe with its very tropey characters. You have the very innocent person, the classic I don't like you but I actually totally do couple, the adult that looks like a child, the erotic artist slash writer, the looks like the opposite gender person, and the pervy boss. Basically, the show follows them in a very loose story that doesn't really exist. It's hard to knock the show for anything, but that's also what makes it so hard to praise. I like the ideas and characters, however there's no goal for any of these characters. You could kinda say it's for Micro and the managers to get together, although spoilers, it never really goes anywhere. To score it, the show has merit and I enjoyed it for what it is. However, the score does have to be lowered a bit for the show not really having any substance in its story, which is why I gave Blend S a 7 out of 10. I'm not too sure how this happened, but I managed to watch two similar shows back to back again. Nekopara follows a kid and her brother who live separately looking after a combine of 7 cats, where each cat is based off of a trope, and with the story having a cafe too, it does make itself quite similar to Blend S. However, the show does do enough to make itself unique and doesn't feel the need to introduce a main cast member halfway through the show. The concept does make me question things though, with human-like cats, however they're still owned by humans despite being able to function like any other human, just with cat ears and a tail. Though with a lot of shows and ideas, I agree it's better to keep a surface level thinking and enjoy a show for what's there. And to be honest, this is a pretty decent slice of life, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10 as well. What the actual I knew this was crowned on top of garbage, but I didn't know it was to this extreme. For myself, a person that would like any romance anime, I enjoyed it, though definitely the worst show I've watched by far, and not good by any definition of the word. At the moment, I'm going to refuse to rate the show due to not really having a grasp of where it stands. Moving on. Sound the alarms! It happened, the show finished, and finished with what can only be described as a flavorful ending. To explain, I'll have to put a spoiler warning here, as what I'm about to say does spoil the ending a little. Last episode I teased that the show, despite clearly looking like an incest show, doesn't have any as of to that point. However, I did also point out the possibility of there being incest as of the finale, and the alarms went off. Now, I doubt it can contend with the incest of Domestic Girlfriend, however it does rank itself around Eromanga Sensei, which I dearly enjoyed. To talk more about the show's pros and cons for a second, the show looks nice and is done decently well, as personalities being a standout, but the actual designs I think could have been a bit more unique. Compare the two siblings to the main two characters from Classroom of the Elite, and they look a bit closer than I would like. Either way, Basic is one of my favourite flavours. Personally, I give it an 8, however critically and officially, I give it a 6 out of 10. Before that show ended, a week earlier, Rent-A-Girlfriend's second season ended. It was more Rent-A-Girlfriend. I can never truly see how close Kazuya is to picking a girlfriend. And I'd just like to talk about Ruka for a second, who, for her arc in the seasons, it seems like she's needy and always needs to be with Kazuya. However, after Ruka's big moment, which I won't spoil, she just disappears from the story. The quality definitely dropped from the first season, however, I don't know if that's the fault of the original story and the manga, or the anime production team making a poor adaptation. I'm not sure how the story continues or how much I'll enjoy it. However, for the second season, I did enjoy it, but it didn't keep the height of the first season. 7 out of 10. To end off this video, I'd like to give a thanks to all of you supporting the series. These videos have done best of release compared to any other on my channel, despite the first 2 episodes not being my favorite in terms of quality. As per usual, feedbacks in the comments is helpful for me to improve the series, and all of my socials, Twitter, Discord, and Twitch will be linked down below. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.